happy Thursday to you. Thanks for joining me again for a study in Proverbs. We're going to be in Proverbs chapter 19 because it's November 19th. And as you turn there, thanks for bearing with me. I don't know what happened this week, but 2 of the days my settings got turned that I ended up just broadcasting to myself. So I'm looking for a proverb here on how to handle Facebook settings. Somehow that happened, and I think I've got it back, and I will know later on today. So thanks for joining me anyway for 5 to 7 minutes as we finish our 2 week study on Proverbs. All right, we're in Proverbs chapter 19. Let's wrap this up today. Let's do a quick reminder and a quick review of where we are. All right, Proverbs is helping us to make decisions because we make decisions each day. Some are large decisions and some are small. Proverbs helps us with wisdom and instructions for living. We want to have strong character, especially those that are identifying with the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. Also, we just want to have good wisdom to be good people in society as well. But more importantly, if we're advocating for the name of Christ, we want to be people of strong character. Proverbs is giving us a plan for success by remaining calm and patient and even gentle when we live with confrontations and conflict. And ultimately, Proverbs is going to drive us to the source of wisdom, which is our relationship with God. All right, are you to Proverbs chapter 19 yet? As you get to Proverbs 19:3, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever made a poor decision? Well, we all have. We've all made decisions we wish we could unmake or we could go back and redo, but we can't. We make decisions. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. The question I have is, what did you learn? The more important question is, who did you blame for the decision? So many times we make poor decisions and we want to pass the blame. And so today, this is a challenge for us in Proverbs chapter 19, verse 3. People ruin their lives by their own foolishness, and then they are angry at the Lord. Don't miss this. People make decisions and they're poor decisions because they make foolish decisions, and then they don't even own the poor decision. They end up getting angry at God. Let's walk through this. People make foolish decisions. We've all made those decisions. The ground is level here. I've made foolish decisions and poor decisions, and so have you. But when we make that poor decision, it can lead to negative consequences or have a negative impact on us. It can impact our health, it can impact our marriages, our employment, our relationships, our finances, you name it. Poor decisions have a ripple effect in our life. When the decisions are made, they are not quick. I'm sorry, let me try it again. When the decisions are made, when those poor decisions are made, and we are not quick to make those decisions our own and to take responsibility. We are often quick to blame someone else. And in this Proverbs chapter 19, verse 3, look at who gets the blame. It's God that gets the blame for the poor decisions. And yet, isn't it always interesting that God never gets any of the credit, but he always gets all of the blame? And so the person that made this decision, they made it in the foolishness, and then they turn, and the verb here is angry. This word angry, it means to storm against like a hurricane, or you're angry like a roaring lion. So I've made this poor decision, and I turn in anger to the Lord, and I vent and I'm angry with him for the decision that I have made. Friends, this is as old as the Garden of Eden. If you go back to Genesis chapter 3, Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden, and they end up sinning or disobeying the standards of God. God said, don't eat of this tree. And guess what? They ate of the tree. God turns to Adam and says, Adam, what are you doing? Adam's first response is, it's not my fault. It's the woman that you gave me. It's Eve's fault. God turns to Eve, and Eve says, it's not my fault. It's the serpent's fault. Look at what they're doing. They're not taking responsibility. They're not taking and owning the decisions that they made, the poor decisions that they made. We're all going to make poor decisions. But the point and the challenge is that not to blame that on someone else. Ultimately, don't blame the Lord, but we need to take credit, or we need to be able to own that decision for what we've done. So, the challenge for today is let's be people who make good choices, first of all. Let's not make foolish choices. Let's make wise choices. Why are we making wise choices? Because we're reading through Proverbs and we're gaining wisdom. So, let's be people that make wise and good decisions, not foolish ones. But if we do make a poor decision, and we will, all right, because we're not perfect, we're going to make poor decisions. Let's learn from those poor decisions and then let's own those poor decisions. Let's not blame someone else. It's not your husband's fault. It's not your wife's fault. It's not your kid's fault. It's not your employer's fault. It's not the politician's fault. I made that decision. It was a poor decision now that I've made it. Let's own that. Ultimately, we don't want to blame the Lord. So let's look to the Lord for wisdom. Let's look to the Lord to help us make decisions with the decisions that you have to make. And ultimately, that source of wisdom, it's going to come from a growing, vibrant relationship with the Lord. If I can help you in any way, please reach out. You can either message on the video or send me a private message. It's Thursday. Remember, we take Friday, Saturday off. We'll be on for digital church, online church on Sunday morning through the church Facebook page, somewhere around 9:30. Anywhere from 9:35 to I should say 9:25 to 9:35. It depends on how many announcements and how many prayer requests we do. So I encourage you, if you don't have a church and you want to go to digital church or online church, check out our Facebook page. And if you want to come to a service, we are open at 9 o'clock and 10:30 with all the protocols and the safety measures to make sure that we do not spread the virus to one another. Hope you have a great weekend. And if you have a home church, I hope you have a great time worshiping the Lord. I will see you back here on Monday morning as we continue our study through God's Word. Hopefully by Monday, I will have lots of knowledge on what to do and what not to do with Facebook and the settings. I hope you have a great Thursday. I'll see you soon.